Thank you very much. Just as an aside at the outset, Senator White, my good friend, is actively listening. We have a lot of people who are listening but not actively listening, so that's good. Thank you. Now, I want at the outset to welcome Minister McConnell to the House. Thank him for taking this personally, and as an indication that by coming in here himself as a senior minister to take the issue, that he's taking it seriously and not attempting to fob it off, because this is very serious matter. I'll try to give you some figures because there has to be a factual basis. There is an income crisis in the pig sector in agriculture at the moment. It's a chronic income crisis. It's well known about, but just to give it chapter and verse, if you like. Factory prices at the moment are 142 per kilogram dead weight. The production cost is 1.75 dead weight. So you see the point already. The average loss on a pig is 33 euros. Feedstuff has increased by 120 euros per tonne, and there's every prospect that raw materials will not get cheaper. The average sow unit is 500 sows, and it's losing 8,000 per week currently. There's welfare issues on farms because they're not able to pay for feed. Factories are struggling to clear a backlog of slaughter from Christmas because the northern plants have reduced kill from the south. That's because of the COVID has taken away workers, and some people have not returned from abroad, and they have staffing issues. And I presume there's a market issue too of getting them onto the market as the market is contracted. There's about 8,500, and this is a very serious point, and 8,500 to 9,000 people employed in the pig sector nationally, and that's chronic, because those are employed in locations that you wouldn't readily replace those jobs. And I see the Minister nodding. He gets this point as a Donegal man. These are not places you can readily ask the IDA to put in a factory in the morning. So this is a very serious matter. These people would have to be sustained then. Nearly 2,000 of these are in Cavan Monaghan. The next big centre is Cork. But Cavan has a huge concentration of the pig sector, of small and large units, and huge losses. The losses are pro rata. Now, there are Brexit low-income loans for SMEs, but there's a slowness of response from the banks. I know the Minister at a conference with the banks, but there's a slowness. They're not getting definite word back to farmers. And there's one problem, that some of the farmers refurbish their sheds with cash flow, and they're not able then to show good cash flow from olden times, which is an issue with the banks, and the Minister might bear that in mind. So there'll be 10% will not be fit to benefit here. Now, the Minister, I should make him aware, and he's aware of these things, but that the French and the Polish have approved packages, and they are getting successful approval from Europe for packages of support for the pig farmers. I'm aware that Minister McConnell, and I have great respect for Minister McConnell, and I genuinely mean that as a very effective Minister, but I know that he's meeting, and that you are meeting the pig farmers today out at Naas, Minister, and that's a very important meeting. I don't expect, I know politics enough to know that you won't be announcing everything to me here, but I would appeal to you to go to that meeting with a real option for those farmers. They are with real money for them. They need a support package. We've had emergency supports for everyone in the last few years, out of the other sector and people, and why not? It was right that we did in the context of COVID. I'm now appealing to you, Minister, to come up to the plate with these pig farmers. We're talking about up to 9,000 people's jobs. We're talking about individual families who run these pig farms in places where you wouldn't get other jobs. These are people who are great community people, done an awful lot in their local communities. I could go through chapter and verse of that for another 10 minutes, but we'll finish it. But please, Minister, this does need an emergency response, and they need hard cash. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator O'Reilly. Minister, you have 4 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Cahirlock, and thanks to Senator O'Reilly for raising this very important issue today, and indeed for having raised it with me over the last period of time as this issue has emerged and become more acute. The continued development of the pig meat sector, as you know, Senator O'Reilly, is a priority for me, given the pivotal role the industry plays in the national economic context, which you very clearly outlined in your own contribution. It's one of the largest agri-food sectors and has shown remarkable growth in recent years too. The sector supports approximately 8,000 jobs, as you pointed out, including spanning production, slaughter, processing, feed manufacturing and services. And it's an intense, focused and commercially driven sector. Our pig farmers have always been remarkably resilient and acutely aware of the challenges they are facing at present. The pigmeat sector across the EU has faced significant challenges in 2021, including the impact of African swine fever in a number of member states and consequently loss of third country markets from that. Obviously, this has had a knock-on effect as well then on supply and prices within the single market. The average price paid for pigs in Ireland has fallen as a result in recent months, in line with trends across the EU. The 2021 average price was over 8% lower than that of 2020, and as of the 30th of January past, the average grade E pig price came in at €141 per 100 kilo. That's just under 7% lower than the same week last year. However, this is in fact still above what the EU average price is. At the recent European Council of Agriculture Ministers, I clearly expressed my concerns in relation to the difficulties that are facing the Irish pig meat sector, both in relation to the ongoing impact of increases in fuel, fertiliser, feed and energy prices over recent times, which are putting real pressure on margins, and also the sustained nature of the difficulties being experienced on the pig meat market. I sought the rapid deployment from the Commission of appropriate solutions on both issues. I also met with members of the IFA National Pig Committee last week to discuss concerns following this, Minister Hayden, and I met with the banks to discuss the current challenges in the pig meat sector and the importance of their ongoing financial support. At this meeting, it was emphasised the importance of the sector, its overall resilience, and the importance of the bank's supports to their customers through the current downturn in the business cycle. The key message was that farmers experiencing cash flow difficulties should engage with the banks as soon as possible to discuss options, and that the banks remain committed to supporting their customers in the period ahead. I'm also engaging with the feed industry too to see what they can do for their farmers and customers. Separately, Minister Hayden and I met with the Strategic Banking Corporation of Ireland to discuss the Brexit Impact Loan Scheme and the COVID-19 Credit Guarantee Scheme, both of which are financed by the Department of Agriculture and Food and the Marine in partnership with the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment. And these finance schemes can be used for working capital and include features which address current financial challenges of facing pig farmers. We're all aware of the cyclical nature of the commodity markets, which for the pig sector at this time is very much compounded by the rising input costs of feed and energy. During this period, maximum flexibility of financial matters is needed to ensure the ongoing viability of those in the sector. Minister Hayden then chaired the Pig Roundtable last week and had a further detailed discussion with stakeholders, including farm representatives, the processing industry and the feed industry, on the current difficulties. In terms of state supports, Board BIA outlined at that roundtable the significant efforts being made to promote quality assured Irish pig meat in the domestic and export markets. 50% of our pig meat does go to the domestic market. And Teagasc also outlined the dedicated advisory supports available. I am and my department are continuing to monitor, Deputy Riley, the market situation closely and are examining possible measures to assist in supporting farmers through what is a very challenging time. It is truly unprecedented time for our pig sector, and I very much stand with farmers at this time, as does Minister Hayden, and we're working hard to find workable solutions. And I'll be meeting with many pig farmers from across the country later this afternoon as well. Thank you, Senator
Thank
Riley.
you very much, Minister. Senator O'Reilly, you have 1 minute to reply.
Yes. Can I thank the Minister for his positive response? I really appreciate the fact that refreshingly he didn't attempt any evasive nonsense that there wasn't a problem. He's accepted there's a real problem, he's on top of it and dealing with it. And all I'm saying, and I'm glad you're meeting the farmers again today, I also of course want to pay tribute to my colleague, my own party colleague, Minister Hayden, for his role in this, as is cited by the Minister as well. But you're meeting the farmers today, Minister. My last and final word to you is please do present them with a package. And I know that at the end of your speech you said that you're working on efforts to do that. If you don't intervene with hard cash, we will be talking of a devastation here. So thank you. There's no point. It's well said, and thanks. I got a positive response, but I just love to think that in a day or two we'll be talking figures.
Thank you very much, Senator. Minister, 1 minute to sum up. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Cahirla, and listen, thanks again, Senator Riley, for putting it on the agenda this morning. I know particularly the sector is very strong in your own home county of Cavan and constituency of Cavan Monaghan, and indeed as our poultry sector, those two counties really are shining lights in terms of driving forward the opportunities that are there in the ag food sector, and are leaders in relation to poultry and to pigs. So I'm very much aware of the pressure the farmers in your own county are under, indeed in my own county and right across the country as well. So we will be monitoring this very closely, seeking to support them through this period, and look forward to continuing to discuss the challenges there with you offline, as you have been engaging with me from this issue started to emerge. So thank you very much, Senator Rowan.